Welcome into the In the Money podcast for Saturday, 26th of May. Tom Leach along with Jim Goodman, Keeneland's Director of Wagering Development, as we take a look at the late pick four at Santa Anita, which includes a couple of graded stakes. We're also going to look at the feature at Churchill Downs as well on Saturday. Jim, it starts in the sixth race with the Grade 2 Charlie Whittingham, a mile and a quarter on the turf. Who did you land on?
Well, I landed on a horse that ran last time out at Keeneland. It's in the post, shipped here for the Elkhorn, the Grade 2 race that he had won the year before, and he didn't really fire that day. He ran a good third, went off as a 2-1 favorite, got beat by one Go Algo and Oscar nominated, which is no bad shakes. He goes back now to the track where he loves it. He's 7 for 16 at Santa Anita. He's 2 for 5 at the distance, and I'm going to take him on top here. I got a couple other horses. Flamboyant is getting better now, but it's in the post has handled him 3 times, looks like 5 times in the past 10 races. So I don't see any reason why it's in the post can't beat him again. But Flamboyant would be my second choice. The 8-horse Syntax for Phil D'Amato did well in a Grade 3 last out and finished decent in the Frank Kilroy Mile back in March, but Flamboyant beat him last time. I think he's the best of the rest of them, but I think it's a 2-horse race, and I'm going to take it's in the post, the 6-horse.
I am going to try to beat him, and so I'm just going to use 2 in the pick 4 because I think it's in the post, looks awfully strong, but I'm going to try to beat him with Full of Luck, the 2, off the angle that he's making his third start for Hollendorfer, and the horse showed big improvement last time out. So Drayden Van Dyke's riding very well too, so just off the connections angle, I'm going to try Full of Luck for the upset and use that one, and it's in the post and nothing else to start the pick 4 when we get to those tickets. But I think he looks awfully good in there. The other graded stake is the Grade 1 Gamely. Fillies and mares 3 and up at a mile and an eighth on the turf. You got a Chad Brown invader in Uni, which is going to be real tough to beat. I'm going to try to beat her with Beau Recall, the 6. Pratt and Callahan are tearing it up, the jockey and trainer respectively. This is a 4-year-old, so there's still some upside left, I think, and she shows 5 really good works since her last start. So I'm going to take her over Uni. Sophie P. Hawksmoor's intriguing with Delacour shipping all the way out west for this spot. And then the 8 Madam Stripes. So I think all of those are very live in this spot. But I'm going to take Beau Recall to win the Gamely over Uni. How about you?
I'm going to take Hawksmoor. I like the fact that Delacour ships her out to the West Coast after 3 straight good efforts at Keeneland, Del Mar, and Laurel. Laurel had been off about 6 months and didn't come back and win the Dahlia like she should at 3-10, but that looks like a prep race for this one. He had to have this one in his sights the whole time. Going to stretch her back out. That was a mile race. She's probably a little bit better at a mile and a quarter, a mile and an eighth. So I think she sets up well here in Le Peru rides, and I really liked Hawksmoor at Keeneland last fall in the First Lady, and she only got beat by a length and a half and ran a big race. So I'm going to take her, but I think in this race it's wide open. I think you could make a case for Sophie P., the one you mentioned. Uni, Chad Brown, I've got underlined, ignore at your own risk. You never ignore a Chad Brown shipper. And Beau Recall, the 6. I think Flavian Pratt is the best turf rider out there, and I think she's getting better right now. She had a nice prep race at Santa Anita in the Royal Heroine. She likes it there with 2 out of 7 and 3 seconds. So I think all your horses have a shot, but I want to take Hawksmoor on top and going to use more than that in the pick 4 when we get to that.
Yeah, the pick 4 starts in the 6th race, so I'm going to use, as I said, it's in the post and Full of Luck there. The next race is a Calbred Maiden. I'm going 4 deep. Baby Gronk was the win pick off a couple of good efforts and good speed, but I'm going to use Jonas, Old Indian Trick, and get on your pulpit. In the Gamely, I'm going to use Beau Recall, Uni, and Hawksmoor. And then the last race is a maiden claimer. I looked to Pioneer the Storm. This is Hollendorfer's dropping this one out of maiden ranks. Been gelded since the last start. Jock that's riding well takes the mount. So I like the 8, but I'm also going to use the 7, the 1, the 2, and the 10 in there as well. So for me, it's 2-6 with 1-5-7-8 with 5-6-7 with 1-2-7-8-10. What's your pick 4 ticket look like?
Mine's a little bit slimmer than that. I took a stand in the first leg with the 6-horse, the favorite that we talked about, and I'll get my
It's in the
papers
post
here. It's in the post, yeah. It's in the post. I'm going to single the 6-horse, and then I'm going to use 3 horses in the 7th race. I'm going to use 1, 2, 7, Old Indian Trick, Fashionably Fast, and Baby Gronk is my pick as well to win that race. And then the Gamely, I'm only going 3 deep here. I can make an argument for going deeper than that, but I'm going to use, I think, the same 3 horses you use. And either 5, Boulder Call, the 6, and Huxtable, the 7. And then the last leg is the Maiden Claimer. And the key here to me is that Le Peru sticks around and rides this Maiden Claimer for David Jacobson. And he's got to like the chances of the 1 horse, or he'd be getting on a plane, I think. So I'm going to use North County Guy, the 1. Living on a Prayer, the 3, first-time starter for Jeff Mullins with a lot of works. Opening up for 30,000 is not a good sign, but has a lot of works there. And Imagine I Am Fastest, the 4, and the 7. It's a new year for Peter Miller. But again, if you have money, I'd go deeper there. That's a race where you never know, and a first-time starter a lot of times wins those races because the other horses have already proven they can't win for 30,000. So, not a great race, but I'm going to take 6 with 1, 2, 7. With 5, 6, 7, with 1, 3, 4, 7.
Now, the 5th race is the Gold Cup at Santa Anita, and that starts a pick 5 that includes the 3 stakes. And you had an opinion in there, right?
Yeah, I only gave out an $18 ticket. You can double that money and go 2 deep in that race, and I can almost guarantee you'll be alive because it's a 2-horse race to me between Accelerate, the 2, coming off a narrow loss to City of Light, the 4-horse in the Oaklawn Handicap. But Accelerate is probably a little bit better at Santa Anita. City of Light's 2 out of 3, but has never been a distance at Santa Anita. It's only been a 7-furlong sprinter. But City of Light, apparently, they're turning him into a monster here with that Oaklawn Handicap win. So I think it's a 2-horse race there. So spend $36 and use the 2-4 in the first leg and make it a pick 5.
Churchill Downs feature on Saturday is the 10th race, the Grade 3 Winning Colors, 6 furlongs, and I thought this was a race with a pretty solid favorite in here. Going to try to beat Golden Mischief?
I don't think so. I think, and when we made this the pick of the week, I thought it would be a stronger race. It really came up light, and I think you play this. I think Golden Mischief is a strong favorite for Brad Cox. Was 7 for 17 lifetime. Has a win at Churchill Downs, and had a great prep race at Oaklawn for this. Won by 8 1/4. Just blew it out in an actual claimer. So I would take, if I were playing this race inside the race, I'd take Golden Mischief on top of Miss Kentucky. I think Miss Kentucky is a good bet to run second here off a couple of good races. One at Keeneland where she had a lot of trouble at the start, and she came back and won an 80,000 claimer at Churchill to set her up for this race. So I think Miss Kentucky, you could also make a case for Treble, who ran right behind Miss Kentucky, but I think you cover the exacta right there if you take Golden Mischief over one of those 2 that you like.
Yeah, I couldn't get past Golden Mischief either. Working great, and that 101 buyer in the second start for Cox looks awfully strong. I looked back at the 9th race actually in there, and there's a horse for Kenny McPeak that looks really good, coming off a second to Crosswalk, who I think is going to be a real nice horse. That was, I think, on Derby Day, the first race. Honorable Treasure. I think that one comes right back and wins, so it'll be a chalky double, but you could maybe increase the price on Golden Mischief by playing a double Honorable Treasure to Golden Mischief in the 9th and 10th. But the Grade 3 Winning Colors were both on the 2 Golden Mischief. It is Memorial Day weekend, so there'll be some great racing on Monday as well, so make sure your Keeneland Select account is funded, and we'll be back next week for another edition of the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com.